Okay. Good morrow, star shines. New Year, same shit. So I did say I'm gonna teach you guys how to use MATLAB and what it all means. And before that, I'm gonna give you a little bit of motivation. Basically, please learn MATLAB. A lot of engineering students don't do that. It's like, it's not good. That's not a great answer, but let me explain, right? So if you learn MATLAB well, you can basically automate your homework. So that's great, number one. And number two, if you have some really complicated ass equation and you're not very exactly precise when it comes to pressing your calculator like moi, MATLAB is your best friend. There's that too. And also you can graph a bunch of shit and process a bunch of data, which will be useful in the future. So it'll be useful like 2 years from now, if not one. So yay. And also, what are the consequences of not knowing MATLAB? See, I know this guy in my class. I will not tell you his name, but man never learned MATLAB. Man only AI's MATLAB, okay? He's the one that's gonna get replaced with the AI apocalypse, so, you know? Like he is proud of it too. He's an idiot, by the way. He voted for Kanye West twice in the presidential election. Oh. If that person ever watches this video, yes, I think you're an idiot. Oh. Yes. One of my New Year's resolution this year is scorched earth. So like, oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Anyways, let us begin on our wonderful journey towards education. Shit. So basically, I'm just gonna go through a linear algebra very simply, just because I feel like I have to, right? So MATLAB represents, what's it called? Matrix laboratory. After all, you have to excuse me. I have not spoken English in a hot minute, so you might hear a little bit of Chinese accent. Oops. Anyways. So first of all, what is a system of equation law? Okay. If my mom ever sees this, right? Come on. Ah, damn it. Anyway, though. So in our life, right, you're gonna encounter systems of equations all the time. I think your first major encounter would be in your circuitry class, um, or in your linear algebra class, right? So you will have like a system and there will be like three unknowns, and then you will have three equations to find the unknowns, right? So this is an example of that. Two equation, two unknown, three equation, three unknown, alright? Ah. So you can solve this by hand, definitely, like, have that at Haas, but why the hell would you, right? Because it's just like, first of all, it's tedious as hell. Second of all, one mistake and you're fucked. So why would you do that? You shouldn't do that. So good news is that we have something called linear algebra. So yeah, we're just gonna go through that. And linear algebra just solves like systems of linear algebraic equation. Okay, let's go through that. So this is a what's it called? Damn it, I gotta find the words for that. Um, this is a general representation of a system of equations. Pause a little bit here. So X would be the system's reaction. A would be like the characteristic of the system, and B would be your input, right? So, yep. Okay. Okay, where's my next step? Okay, here you go. So for your systems of equations, you can write it in matrix form. I don't know. This is just like the nomenclature of it all. So I'm just showing you this. So this is your coefficient matrix lah. And then this is your X unknown lah. And this is your input law. So this is the golden thing you need to remember lah. This coefficient matrix can be simply represented by the A. And then the input matrix is just B. Yeah. Simple, easy, all right. It's so easy. My God, so easy though. What is that? Okay, next one. This is like something called an augmented matrix. Just look at it. It's just what it is. Well, A and B law. Very easy lah. 好啦, now we're gonna get into the heart of linear algebra, which I think a lot of people do a bad job of explaining. Okay? People are hella dumb. Okay, and I looked up the definition online too, and the definition is really dumb too. So here's mine, right? So in linear algebra, there's something called a determinant, right? So what a determinant is, it's just a number. It's just like one number. It could be like five, right? That tells you if your system of equations are yay or nay. Okay. If the determinant is zero, then your system of equation is like nay. But if your determinant is not zero, okay. So it's just a game of terms here. Come on, let me go through what I wrote down. I have a tendency to not do that. Da 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 da. Come on. So when a system of equation means like yay, that means you can solve it. There's an answer. But if it's like nay, there's no answer. Oh, you're screwed. Anyway, gonna the term we're gonna use is that the system is unique or the solution is unique. I don't know. People like to gatekeep, that's why jargons are invented. The determinant is described as non-singular. So it means it's like not zero. That's what that means. Non-singular, not zero. So if their systems of equation is unsolvable, all right, you got two scenarios here, right? You got your no solution and then your infinite solution. And then your determinant is described as singular. That means it's equal to zero. Lol. That's it. I feel like I feel like they should just teach that in class. They don't tell you that in class. They will be like, they will give some bullshit definition that nobody understands and just call it a day, which is like bad teaching, in my opinion. Hold up. I'm just gonna show you what no solution is first graphically, right? So all of y'all took calculus. I hope you did. If not, like, you're gonna see this, right? So this is the unique solution, no? Wait. Oops. This is what we call the unique solution, no? So there is a solution, right? And then this is no solution. So when your little lines are like parallel. And finally, this is infinite solution. It's just like, what? What is that? What? Right? So now that you have these three pictures in mind, let's let me show you what that means like mathematically, right? Okay. Let me skedaddle back. Okay. So let's go with like no solution first. Hold on. So we have 2x plus y equals 3, and then 4x plus 2 equals 0 lah. You're gonna solve this, right? How you're gonna solve this is that you're gonna like multiply the first equation by 2, and then it turns into 4x plus 2y equals 6, right? And then you're just gonna what's the word? Subtract equate equation 3 by equation 2. And this is your answer, though. And what is that? What is that, right? So that's what we call no solution. And when like there's like 0 equals something. Just like, what is that, right? So that's no good. Whatever. Yeah. And then blah blah blah. We're gonna go into like infinite solution. Oh, hold on. Not infinite solution. Same shit, but the answer is 0 equals 0. But same point stands like oh, oh, oh. So like in real life, what that means is that your system is faulty. There. And also, that's why I talked about determinants earlier, right? Earlier, it's like 30 seconds ago. If you see like a system of equations and you don't want to be bothered, right, to even solve it in the first place. You want to know if it's solvable or not. Honestly, hop on the MATLAB. DET, that stands for determinant. And then it returns zero, then you just don't need to move anymore. You're like done. Ah, anyways. What's next? Okay, type of solution. Yeah, I think a lot of times in like linear algebra, they don't show you the pictures. Just remember this picture though. Just remember this one is unique. This one is unique. Can you spell? My God. Low solution lah. And then infinite solution. Just remember these three pictures and you're golden, right? I'm more of a picture person. So I like to draw many pictures. Okay. So methods of solution. I just want to talk about it just like for half a second. So there are like direct and iterative lah, right? Direct is just like you just solve it. Okay. So let me go through these methods really quickly. And no, I will not do a demo because I totally forgot how to do it by hand. Anyways, so like in 107, you're gonna go through all of these and they're gonna teach you like pretty poorly. Sorry. I hate I hate that class so much because they had no directional. Okay. So there's something called computational cost. Is that like if you have like a really big set of numbers, it's gonna take time and like energy to run those calculations, right? And these methods are, I'm just going to describe them quickly. This is the traditional Sudoku method, the Gaussian elimination. Sudoku traditional, they're going to make you do it by hand when you learn linear algebra. This one is the cheap one, no? The LU decomposition is the cheap one. And then Gauss-Jordan is like the fancier cousin of Gauss elimination. Yeah, that's it. So like in design, I'm pretty sure you know I threw this term around, iterative design. So we're gonna use iterative solution title. But this is like direct. I just want you to know that. Iterative basically means you initiate a guess, like x equals like 5, and then you write a program that will run a bunch of numbers until the target that you want, like or the target percentage that you want. Yeah. That's it. That's like, I think I covered the bases pretty well. All right, that's it. In the next video, I'm just gonna talk about the MATLAB stuff. So, see you then.